This is where the Boule is formed by the Greek fraternities. That's how they killed Malcolm X. Amen. Malcolm X knew about the Boule. And if I really want to bless you, to really mess you up, Martin Luther King was part of the Boule. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Remember Margaret Sanger said she's going to propagate abortion in the black community through preachers?
All right. The Greeks called it the Pythagorean theorem. Pythagoras was a Greek mathematician who discovered a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The problem is Pythagoras didn't discover it. The black folk in Egypt discovered it years before.
All right. All right. All right. Welcome to the Come Out From Among Them blog again. I know it's been pretty convicting. I know y'all have seen the first and second video, so I really appreciate you just sticking through with me to watch these videos. I'm not saying you're going to come out and change your life in a day, but if the Lord is convicting your heart and making you feel some type of way, chances are that he's trying to tell you something. All right, so let me not distract any further. Let's go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. If you missed the first two videos, it's okay, guys. Guess what? You could check it out up here. You can check it out up here. And so you guys can catch up in your spare free time. Now, if it's your lunch break, if you're in the bed, or whatever time it is that you're watching, it is okay. If you can't physically watch me, it's okay. Just listen, right? Put your ear pods in, whatever you're doing. If you're in the gym, just listen, okay? Because it's going to be powerful, powerful, powerful.
To give you some understanding. This is where the Boule is formed by the Greek fraternities. The black Greek fraternity. I told you it's all about the Greeks. It's the black Greek fraternities, and these that was formed in Howard University, and a lot of those famous black universities, and it's also part of the Prince Hall Masons and the Elks. These are the secret societies in the hood that you don't even know that they here. These are the people, these are your councilmen and your aldermen and people that get up in high positions, and you wonder, how do they get in them positions? And it don't matter how well this person is liked or loved, if they don't have the favor of the king, they don't get in. The advisors of the king, they get in because they are going to do what the king wants them to do, and that's to kill any black messiah. That was the goal. That's how they killed Malcolm X. Amen. Malcolm X knew about the Boule. And if I really want to bless you, to really mess you up, Martin Luther King was part of the Boule. They killed him because he went against them. He was in it. He went against them when he started talking about white stuff. And white stuff was that Vietnam War. When he started talking about the Vietnam War, it's over. That's their business. This is the king business. Your job was to manage the Negroes. We put you in a position. Y'all heard what I'm saying? This is the reason why Jesse ain't done nothing. Al ain't done nothing. These are 33rd degree Freemasons. How they gonna do something when they are in position to manage you for white supremacy? Didn't think you learned that in church, huh? I just want to help you, because you have to understand who the enemy is now. Y'all remember I told y'all about this friend or foe? You got to figure out who's really for us, who ain't. Who's on our side and who ain't on our side. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Remember Margaret Sanger said she's going to propagate abortion in the black community through preachers? They know what to get. The preacher's always the leader. This is why preachers, that's why if you go to most old churches, look on the foundation stone, you'll see Freemason symbols. You'll see the compass and square symbols, which we know that's Luciferian worship. Now, some of y'all who think y'all got people that's Freemasons, they lower level. They may be on the first, second level. You don't know nothing. When you get to that third level, you start getting some knowledge. And when you get all the way up them steps and get over to that 32nd level, you know that you're serving Lucifer. This is why we fell for that foolishness when the Trayvon Martin, it was all the foolishness because his daddy was a 33rd degree Freemason. I don't got time to talk about what that was all about, but I'll get into it one day. Same way with the women. They've got to come out of those societies. And they have to pledge your allegiance, and you have to be a part of it. And most of them, because those societies, Greek societies, they sing Christian songs sometime, and they do a lot of Christian stuff. The people in them think they're Christian because most black folk, when they send their kids off to school, they came up usually in some type of Christian home, some type of Christian home. So that's how they fool you, because you thinking because they're saying some, they might even talk about God. But if you listen to the oaths, which nobody hears but the initiates, and you realize they're talking about covenants with these Greek deities, or these really spirits.
That's right.
Are y'all, come on, can we talk or not talk?
You can talk.
So listen. So because this black boule, which is the black fraternities and sororities, their goal was to be advisors to the king. It's an elite. It's the elect group of black folk, the educated elect group of black folk that they use to keep white interest on top. This is why Obama didn't do nothing for us, and y'all shocked. He came out of that. How you gonna do something for us? If you get in power, it's because you're gonna protect the king.
Right.
Just listen. Don't go off emotions. Think. What have anybody done for us? What? Any leader? What have they done? The leaders that do stuff are dead. They die because they go against them and they get killed. There is no leader you can name that has done anything for the up movement of black people without the government. All these leaders keep us dependent on the government because that's how they control us, through the government. So when that thing happened in Ferguson, when Al Sharpton went down, I said it's over. I said, Greg, come on. We need to go to Washington and we need to get a bill. We need a bill for racism. We know what? We don't need no bill for this. You need to let those cats protest. Let black people have a voice where they can be heard. Well, he killed it. He killed it because why? We were pacified. We thought it was a movement. Something's going to happen. What has happened? We don't even know if the man is going to even get indicted. We still don't know nothing. Black people are pacified. Took away what they scared of, the powder keg in the black community, because they know we get mad, we tear up. And people say, well, they turn to their own community. It ain't our community. These are rented houses. These stores don't belong to us. So when we burn it up, don't say it's ours. It wasn't ours. If it was ours, they would stand back. They would stand back, burn it up. The whole police force was formed to protect white property. That's what they ain't coming for you. They coming, don't hurt the property.
Churches again, but now they're crossed. We're not going to talk about all the details, but we're going to talk about some of the things that seem to either stand out or seem to recur. Now watch this. Of all the black Greek letter organizations, Phi Alpha is the oldest. And Phi Alpha decided we're not going to go Greek. We're going to take it to the motherland and go Egypt. Phi Alpha's symbol is the Great Sphinx of Giza, founded in 1906. Do I have a picture of the Sphinx? I believe I do.
Yes.
Is that our next image? That's a pretty background. There we go. That's the Sphinx. Man, I've stood at that Sphinx with my sister Angie and my niece Adrian. Oh, awesome structure. But the Sphinx was built by blacks.
Wow.
I mean, we got skills.
Yeah, skills, y'all.
But it was under the umbrella of a pagan society. Now, Phi Alpha symbol is this Sphinx. Now, we're not going to go back a few images, but when I showed you the Boulé's image, you also saw something that looked like a Sphinx. That was a Sphinx. That was the Greek Sphinx. Now, the Greek Sphinx has the face of a lady, while the Egyptian Sphinx has the face of a man. The Greek Sphinx is malevolent, evil. The Greek Sphinx guards temples. In order to get into the temple, the Sphinx will ask you a riddle or a question. If you cannot answer it, she will eat and devour you. She will kill you. Egyptian Sphinx are a little bit different. They're a little more humble. They guard the palace.
All right, guys. So you guys got that? All right, move right along.
Now, Phi Alpha utilizes motifs from ancient Egypt and uses images and songs depicting the Haremeket, which is the great Sphinx of Egypt. But Haremeket also means Horus of the horizon. Next image, please. That is Horus. That is the falcon god Horus. Horus is the child of Isis and Osiris. Horus was the god of the sky. Watch this now. They used the Sphinx, Horus of the horizon, pharaohs, and other Egyptian artifacts to represent the organization. The Great Sphinx of Giza, pay attention, was made out of one unified body of stone, masonry, which represents the fraternity and its members. This is in contrast to other fraternities that traditionally echo themes from the golden age of ancient Greece. Alpha's constant reference to Ethiopia in hymns and poems are further examples of Alpha's mission to imbue itself with an African cultural heritage. A fraternity brother wrote, to the Alpha Phi Alpha Brotherhood, African history and civilization, the Sphinx and Ethiopian tradition bring new meanings, and these are interpreted with new significance to others. As you can tell, I'm reading a quote. The Great Pyramids of Giza, symbols of foundation, sacred geometry. See, when we start getting into that sacred math, that's what the 5%ers talk about, mathematics. Any of you that grew up in the hip hop era and you listen to late 80s, early 90s hip hop, groups like Wu-Tang Clan, groups like Poor Righteous Teachers, a lot of those East Coast groups that would talk about the black man as God and would talk about how ancient and scientific and precious, pure and religious that mathematics was. That's what that sacred geometry is all about. It comes from Egypt. All right. The Greeks called it the Pythagorean theorem. Pythagoras was a Greek mathematician who discovered a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The problem is Pythagoras didn't discover it. The black folk in Egypt discovered it years before.
Uh-oh. Come on now. Let's just stop right there.
When they hear their hood or see their color, man, that's how these fraternities are. Boy, I tell you. AKA Alpha Kappa Alpha. The sorority was founded in 1908. Time you're done with your initiation, Alpha becomes personified. But let's look at this image here. What do we see here? There's that lamp again. There's that handshake again. Now I see a dove, and then I see this. That's a guy holding a globe. Looks like this Greek god that I know. Next image. That's who that is. That would be the Greek Titan Atlas. You're very familiar with Atlas, who holds up the world on his shoulders. Mm-hmm. But see, it's always been believed that that's all he was doing. See, the Titans were punished by the Olympian gods, Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, Demeter, Hermes, Aphrodite, Artemis, etc., etc. If you saw the movie Immortals, if you saw Wrath of the Titans or Clash of the Titans, I don't even know why Clash of the Titans is called Clash of the Titans. There aren't any Titans in the movie.
Right.
And Wrath of the Titans should be called Wrath of the Titan because there's only one in that movie. But nevertheless, Atlas was a Titan. Atlas was punished to hold up the earth on his shoulders, but that's not all he was doing. Actually, what he did was he held the heavens on his shoulders to prevent the heavens from interacting with earth. Now, I'm a believer, and I claim to be an Alpha, Kappa Alpha. Yet how can I believe that his will be done on earth as it is in heaven when Atlas is in the way?
That was good.
My love is tough. I get it, honestly. You got to understand it's still love. Because I want folk free. I want folk unplugged from the matrix. That's what I want. Watch this now. Next image, please.
All right. So you guys hopefully are creating notes. And if you're not creating notes, at least, create a mental image in your mind, a mental note. You can always come back to this at a later time and maybe, jot down some notes so that this can resonate in your spirit. Okay.
Kappas, Kappa Alpha Psi. Watch this. This is a fraternity which happened to call their chapter leaders polymarchs. Now, polymarch is actually spelled pole and march. If you put pole and march together, you get polymarch. This comes from the ancient Greek word polymarchos. Now, polymarchos is taken from two Greek words. Number one, polymos, which is the Greek word for war, and then archon, which is the Greek word for leader. So a polemarch is a war leader. Now, a polemarch was a senior military title in various ancient Greek city-states. The title is composed, as I said, out of the words polemos and archon, and it translates war leader or warlord. Now, here's what's very interesting. This council is known as the Divine Nine. Back in ancient Greece, specifically in Athens, there were 9 polemarchs a year. It's not an accident. It's all connected. The name indicates that the polemarchos' original function was to command the army. Presumably, the office was created to take over the function from the king. Next image, please. The god of Kappa Alpha Psi is Apollo, the Greek god Apollo, god of the sun. Next image, Omega Psi Phi. Oh, well, I'm sorry, go back. Please go back 2 images to the Kappa. Okay, there's the night again, looking to the east. There's the handshake again. There's an arrow again. There's stars in the number 3. All right, move it forward twice. Go to Omega Psi Phi. What do we see? There's a star. There's a lamp. Now we've got swords. They're crossed. We saw crossed arrows before. There's a knight looking to the east again. At the end of the initiation here, you wed Omega. You marry Omega. It's a fraternity, though, so Omega must be a she in this sense. Next image, please. Delta, Sigma Theta. Now, see, sometimes all you need is one. And we already have, this is a sorority, we already have a young lady that's denounced this and has basically confirmed pretty much everything that I'm saying, so I'm good. She was in it and she's out of it. Amen. Delta Sigma Theta, what do we see there? There's that torch again. There's a candle. I see Minerva again. Who's Minerva? The Roman goddess of wisdom, looking to the east. Next image, please. That's her right there. That's Minerva. Minerva's all over the place. You find Minerva everywhere. Right there in her chest, you can kind of see an ugly face. That's most likely Medusa, because Minerva shows up on the Great Seal of the state of California. There's Minerva holding her spear, and Medusa's on her shield. Minerva finds herself in other places too. She's the patron goddess of many universities. Patron means the god of, or the goddess of. And Minerva also finds herself on the Navy and Army Medal of Honor, right there in the circle of the pinnacle. The Air Force has a Medal of Honor as well, but they don't choose to use Minerva. They use another Roman goddess who goes by a specific name, but you and I know her as that great big statue in New York that greets everyone when we enter the city. The Statue of Liberty is the Roman goddess of freedom, Libertas. I mean, we claim to be a Christian nation, but there's paganism all over the place.
Wow.
And that's not by accident, because the country was founded on Christian principles, but it became framed by Masonic ones. And if you do your history, starting with George Washington, every president has been, there's no reason to believe that up until now, every president to this day has been a Mason.
That's so true.
But you know what? This is conspiracy theory anyway, so ain't nobody gonna believe me.
Bruh.
Next image.
Move right along.
What do we have here? Look at that. She knew it. Phi, Beta, Sigma. What do we see here? I see 3 stars again. I see the dove again. And now I see a hatchet in a sheath. A hatchet in a scabbard. That's interesting. And the goddess of Phi Beta Sigma is Athena. Show the next picture, please. Athena, Greek god of wisdom. She's the equivalent to Minerva, the Roman goddess of wisdom. I'm sorry, Greek goddess of wisdom. Minerva is the Roman goddess of wisdom. Next image, please. Number 7. Zeta Phi Beta. Y'all know your stuff. What do we see again? What do we see again? We see the torches. I see 3 stars in the middle. There's the dove again. What does the torch mean? It's the same torch that Our Lady Liberty holds. Some of the images, the torches were crossed. Zeta becomes personified with with Zeta, Phi, Beta. Next, number 8, Sigma, Gamma, Rho. And by the way, let me just back up. Keep the image here. Alpha Phi Alpha, founded in 1906. Alpha Kappa Alpha, 1908. Kappa Alpha Psi, 1911. Omega Psi Phi, 1911. Delta Sigma Theta, 1913. Phi Beta Sigma, 1914. Zeta Phi Beta, 1920. Sigma Gamma Rho, 1922. The goddess that oversees this sorority is the Roman goddess of the dawn, Aurora. And what do we see? That's Aurora right there. Okay. Now go back to the crest. What do we see? There's the hatchet in the scabbard. Now they're crossed. There's a lamp again. I see a feather. There's a skull and crossbones again. You ain't got to figure out what that means. There's the torch of liberty again. And now I see a symbol there. It kind of looks like that symbol that's usually associated with medicine. Yeah, anybody ever seen that symbol associated with medicine? But the problem is that it's erroneously associated with medicine. That symbol right there is called the caduceus. It is the staff of Hermes. There's the hatchet in the scabbard. Now they're crossed. There's a lamp again. I see a feather. There's a skull and crossbones again. You ain't got to figure out what that means. There's the torch of liberty again. And now I see a symbol there. Kind of looks like that symbol that's usually associated with medicine. Yeah, anybody ever seen that symbol associated with medicine? But the problem is that it's erroneously associated with medicine. That symbol right there is called the caduceus. It is the staff of Hermes, the messenger god. Romans called him Mercury. This symbol does not mean medicine. This symbol, the staff with 2 snakes intertwining it, means commerce and trickery. When there's one snake around the staff, that means medicine. That's the rod of Asclepius. And you can confirm that by seeing black dynamite. That'll confirm it right there. You see black dynamite, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. When they're in Roscoe's Chili and Donuts, they are talking about, okay? You confirm that, all right? Now, it's all connected. Last, the youngest of the bunch. Next image would be Aurora, and then the image after. There we go, Iota, Phi Theta. Fraternity founded in 1963. What do I see? I see, there are the stars again. I see the candle lamp, but now I see a centaur. Now, what do I know about centaurs? That's Greek mythology, right? Half man, half horse. Centaurs were associated with the Greek god Dionysus. The Romans called him Bacchus. This was the god of wine, the god of madness, the god of ritual ecstasy, the god of orgies, and the god of the theater. Basically, Dionysus is Lord of Hollywood. And everything that Dionysus did, it happens today. Now, what were the common themes in all these emblems? Mind you, they all have a god, mostly a goddess, or itself becomes the goddess, and you either wed the goddess or you die and resurrect to the goddess. You die and you are raised an Omega, raised a Kappa, raised a... It's dangerous stuff to play with because all of that has its roots back in Genesis 4 with Cain and Tubal Cain. What are some of the common themes here? The key. Did you see the key? What's the key? The skeleton key is the master key that unlocks all doors. And in cryptography, the key is the password or the secret piece of information that determines the function of something. Oh, what about the fleur-de-lis? This is the lily that is religious, political, dynastic, artistic, emblematic, and symbolic, especially to the French. Some of my jeans had fleur-de-lis on the back of them. They got to go. My mother should be happy. We also saw the owl. Anybody see the owl? What do we know about the owl? The owl is the animal of wisdom. It's the bird of wisdom. The owl is also symbolic with the demon and the alien because of the eyes. The owl is the pet or symbolic animal of Minerva and Athena, both goddesses of wisdom. The owl is also the night monster, the incubus and the succubus, the abomination, the evil omen, the bird of death. Over in Isaiah, I think is it 34? I should have wrote this one down. There's a scripture that talks about the screech owl. The Hebrew word is Lilith. Lilith is an ancient pagan goddess. Some legends say she was the first wife of Adam. We know.
All right, guys. So a lot of these symbols he's kind of recapping from my video, from my part 2 video. So if you haven't seen it, feel free to go back and under my profile on my page and look under videos. You'll see where it says, I think it says exposing D9 sororities. I think it says part 2. It will say part 2 though. So if you guys want to go back and look at that, he breaks down the symbolism per, I should say he breaks down the definition for the symbolism. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's all I wanted to show for now. I know you guys are like eating this up. And I mean, I hope you are. And I just want to kind of, for this video only, I just wanted to showcase the shields. Now my next video, I'm sorry, let me go back on screen. Sorry. So my next video, I have some, this video is going to be the videos of all videos. I found a video where there was 2 deltas that didn't know each other. They met up and they were doing a podcast with Hardly Initiated. That's what the podcast is named. One is a pastor and the other one is a doctor, I believe. She has a doctorate, but I mean, both of them shared transparently their thoughts and processes through Delta. I'm not saying Delta is the main sorority at all, but I just watched it and I'm just like, wow, like this is amazing. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and I hope you all enjoy the next video. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you haven't seen part 1 and part 2, again, please visit it up here. You guys can click on it up there. Like and subscribe, please, guys. I'm sharing some wonderful information that will be very, very good for your spirit. And not only your spirit, like I said before, I love you all, whether you do it or not. But my goal is to reach those who have an ear to hear, because God right now is honing down in this season. He is honing down on idolatry. I've heard it from my own spirit. I've heard it from 2 prophets that I follow immensely. I don't follow everybody. There's a lot of prophets that say they're prophets, but these 2 prophets that I follow, they don't follow each other, and they are spot on when it comes to what God he's starting from the church, and he is starting at idolatry. He's starting at those pastors who say they are pastors but are not preaching rightfully. So God is starting from the church. He is starting to get rid of all these idols. So it is our time to wake up. It is our time to pray and ask God to remove things that is not of him, and just to come out from among them. We got to come out on that narrow road. All right. So I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.